It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
The Monday episode of the podcast here, going up way late on a Monday, way late. Can you hear it in my voice? The year 2025, the year of the sick Widmers, continues. I think I'm on the tail end of this cough and cold. It truly never ends here. It is always something. This one hit everyone, from Woods to Elsa to Anna to me, like everyone. It's just hit everyone. So I'm getting over it, but my gosh, we are in it. So my voice is a little weak today. I apologize. I won't yell as much as I normally do. So that's probably a big thank you. I can hear it resonating from everyone. But the podcast goes up late on a Monday. Today was an extremely long day. And we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. Not today. Not today, because we got a weekend to get to. A weekend of activities, of thoughts, revisiting something. A very, very journal entry style today on the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I very much appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. I want to start running things back to last week. It was Thursday night, and my wife was out of town last week. And Thursday night, I got a babysitter. And I just said, you know what? It's time to get out of the house with Uncle Mike and his girlfriend's out of town. We needed to kick it old school like it was 2015, 2016, and go out for some drinks, some food, and some hanging out. So we did that on Thursday night. It was great. It was awesome. Big shout out to my wife for helping set that up with our babysitter. Shout out Ashley. Appreciate you. And it was just a very enjoyable night. So we went out here in Lexington, something we have not done yet. Mike and I are very familiar with going out. And we know the ins and outs of going out in Spokane. If anyone ever needs tips or advice for that, we've got you covered. So we were looking around here, and there's a couple things that played into our decision on Thursday night. I was in the mood for pizza. We'd heard a lot of things about this Goodfellas Pizza here in Lexington. Now, there's a couple things with this place. Number one, a lot of people you talk to here in Lexington love Goodfellas Pizza. So there's a plus. Number two, Dave Portnoy, who does the pizza reviews for Barstool. He got kicked out of Goodfellas when he was here in Lexington doing a pizza review and gave it a 0 out of 10. So it's notorious for that. So there's a couple great stories that go with it, and we're like, we need to try it. It's in a cool area of town. And so we went down there and we tried this Goodfellas Pizza. So let me start. I'm going to give you three things. We're going to rank them because the night was amazing. Great night out with Mike. Number 3 in terms of greatness was this Goodfellas Pizza. And this Goodfellas Pizza ruled. They give you a slice of pizza the size of a human head. I know my head's bigger than most heads, but so let's go my head. Bigger than your head. They give you a slice of pizza that big. It's enormous. And they give you a breadstick that, no joke, is 2 feet long. It's insane. It's insane. But the pizza was really good. The breadstick was really good. I shout out to Goodfellas. I will be going back there sometime. I thought it was a really fun, cool, tasty pizza spot. And I'm normally not all the way down with the pizza by the slice place, but this one was really good. And I'm in. Goodfellas Pizza, I'm in. Thumbs up. That was the third best thing of an amazing night. Second best thing, right next to Goodfellas Pizza, there's a brewery called Ethereal Brewery. And I need to look this up because I was talking with someone from back in Spokane. Shout out to Whistlepunk Brewery, Matt Hansen, the lead brewmaster, the owner of Whistlepunk, said that Ethereal Brewing is like a legendarily old beer place. And I'm trying to look it up real quick to see if they have a story with it or if Matt was just making this up. I love it. You have to click on I'm over 21 years old to get into their website. Okay, let's see what we got here. Here we go. So, Ethereal Brewing in Lexington. A history of ethereal brewing and pepper distillery. This 25-acre property was home to the historic James E. Pepper Distillery, which began making bourbon in 1879. So there we go. There's where the oldness comes from. However, in 1958, the site was abandoned completely, untouched for nearly 50 years. Ethereal Brewing was the second business to open in spite of clear neglect of the existing structures and the moonscape-like parking lot. A parking lot's wild there. So I don't know when it was opened, but there's some history to the land. And they opened a brewery here. Now, coming from the Northwest in Spokane, a lot of breweries, a lot of really good creative beers up there. And that's just kind of what we were accustomed to. We haven't noticed that as much here in Lexington. Mere Twin is a brewery here in town that's awesome, really great beers. They also have a pizza spot inside of it. The mood is right there. It's really great. But that was really the only place Mike and I had been together here. And so Ethereal, we went there. Couple great things. One, they have a really cool selection of beers. A lot of different kinds, a lot of different flavors, tastes. It was really good. But one of the things they have that will always sell me on a spot, awesome glasses. Awesome. And they apparently will do limited edition glasses throughout the course of the year. And they've been doing this for a very long time. And to make you jealous, they display right behind the bar all their old cool glasses that have been just kind of the random, a 1 month. This is a 1 month only limited edition glass. They have all those displayed on the wall, and you're like, I really wish that beaker one was for sale. And they're like, it's not. But if you would have been here in June of 2023, you could have got yours for $8. And I'm like, I would have bought it. So you go there, you see all these glasses on the wall, and you realize the glass you're holding in your hand, they sell the glass that you have, which was super cool with all these awesome engravings on it. And they're like, look, this is the $8 one right now. Are you going to get a glass? And had Mike and I not been going, knowing that we were going to go out the rest of the evening to do stuff and walk around, we both were going to get one. And I want to go back and get one because I'm a fan of this. I've got a Whistle Punk glass from Spokane that I love. I've got a Steel Barrel RIP glass from Spokane it's like my favorite glass that I own. And there's just something about these glasses from the breweries that I think are great. They're always a little different. They're just cool. So shout out to Ethereal. They're the second best part of the night. But the first best part of the night, I didn't expect it to be the first best. We knew we wanted to go to this arcade that's right by both Ethereal and Goodfellas, which are right next to each other here in Lexington. So we moseyed over across the street to this arcade. And it was great. They've got a ton of games. And they also have a ton of... Sorry, I just got a text from my wife that blew my mind. Hang on. I've got... This is going to happen live. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see me roll away from the screen. And if you're listening on the podcast, give me a couple seconds to reply to my wife because we have some breaking news. Before we talk arcade. All right, hang on. I got to say no freaking way. The guy who won the Kentucky Derby, which we're talking about on Wednesday, is from Venezuela. So I've got to do some research. Junior Alvadoro. I mean, this is the moment. Anytime someone's from Venezuela, I click their name, and I hope he's near Táchira. Like, what if this guy's from San Cristobal? What if this guy's from Rubio, where I'm from? Junior Alvarado. He's from Barquisimeto. Barquisimeto! I love Barquisimeto. Barquisimeto I went to, and I helped out with a baseball clinic for kids and with my dad, and it's one of my favorite memories with my father. So shout out to Barquisimeto. My parents went to Barquisimeto, the home of Junior Alvarado, the winner of the Kentucky Derby. Also went there with my parents for I forget what the trip was, some kind of missions meetup. I don't know what it was, but a bunch of the people there had Pogs, and I had my little collection of Pogs, and we played Pogs in this hotel and also got stuck in the elevator, which you don't want to get stuck in an elevator in a third world country. Just going to say that. We were in it forever, and I just remember thinking this is the kind of elevator that falls and you fall to your demise. All right, Barquisimeto. This arcade, as we jump back to present time, this arcade had pinball machines. Now, I love pinball. I am not a big arcade guy. One arcade game that I love in my life, it is NBA Jam Tournament Edition. That is the arcade machine that I love. I like the game, I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. I like the Simpsons arcade game. They're fine. They don't have their hooks in me like NBA Jam. And is it Gauntlet? What is the arcade game? Is it called Gauntlet? Let me make sure. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Gauntlet. Gauntlet is an arcade game that I absolutely love. So those are the arcade games like that. That I like an arcade. I don't love it. I would never really own one outside NBA Jam. My wife actually got me a miniature NBA Jam arcade that I adore, and it sits on the bar down in the basement. I love it so much. But I would love a pinball machine. Now, the problem with the pinball machine, they're super expensive, and they also break fairly easily, I've learned, and it's really hard to fix them. So some guys that I listen to every week who do a video game podcast, Game Scoop, one of the guys on the show is a diehard pinball guy, and every now and then he'll talk about how hard it is to own and maintain a pinball machine, and that he's just constantly fixing pinball machines. That's like what he does as a side hustle. But I would love one. And there's one pinball machine that I've loved since, the year 2000, 2001. Moved back to the United States. My buddy Reed and I, now brother-in-law, we would go to Wonderland Miniature Golf, Wonderland Event Center, whatever it was, in northern Spokane, Washington. We would play mini golf, and if I had some dollars extra, I would get quarters and play Big Hurt Pinball. That's right. Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, had a pinball machine. Now, I had only ever seen this pinball machine at Wonderland. That's it. And after about 2 years, that pinball machine must have broken. It was gone. Never saw it again, but I loved it. And I saw it again for the first time in over 20 years at this arcade in Lexington, Kentucky. Big Hurt Pinball Machine. Created in 1995. It is an awesome game. You're trying to score as many runs as you can. And one of the gimmicks in it is if you hit the pinball back up the middle of the pinball machine, there is a ramp that launches over a wall for a home run. And going back and forth across that wall is a glove. And so you're trying to hit homers and not get robbed by the glove. And to a sports fan like me, there's nothing better. So we ran into this pinball machine, and I tried not to freak out about it because Mike was like, well, yeah, it's cool, but we can go play NBA Jam or plenty of other games that he likes. He likes the shooting games where you hold the gun and shoot. I've never been into those. But I got to play some of this Big Hurt Pinball. And all I could think was, if this arcade can just last for 3 or 4 more years until my oldest son, Huck, understands a pinball machine, we are going to go spend way too much money on this game because I want him to get to enjoy it. I'd love to enjoy Big Hurt Pinball with my son. 1995. The estimated value of one of these between $2,500 and $2,900. I mean, pinball machines are so expensive. Let's see here. I think they've got this website, pinside.com, which has a lot of pinball factoids. And it looks like a couple of these sold for just under $3,000 last year. So again, not cheap. Not cheap at all. Pinside says in the past year, they've seen it listed 8 times for sale. The median asking price was $2,700. Anyways, none of that matters. None of us are buying it. But Big Hurt Pinball. It is awesome. So excited that I got to play it. And it was the highlight of the night. Outside of just hanging with Mike, getting some beers, getting some pizza. We played some games. We rocked some Stratego. Haven't played Stratego in a minute. It was great. It was great. Okay, the other side of the weekend was this. And this was a weird experience here because it was good and bad all at the same time. My wife was out of town for the week and set to come back on Sunday. So Saturday I'm with the kids, and it rained all day Saturday. So we're inside, and we're just inside. And at some point in time during the day, the kids are just, I got 3 kids and a dog that has to be carried in and out of the house to go to the bathroom. We're just in it. So at some point in the day, you kind of just go, okay, kids are trying to take over the house. We can't go outside. I don't want to get everything wet. Go ahead and just be crazy. Let's make forts. Let's eat snacks in weird places. I can clean this all up after bedtime before Anna gets home on Sunday. We're just gonna throw in the towel. I know I have some podcasts to listen to, so I'm kind of in this mindset of like, okay, all day Saturday, I'm like, I'm gonna get Thai food tonight. I'm gonna treat myself. I've just been kind of picking off the kids' dinner, not the healthiest choice. I've been picking off the kids' dinner all week, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get some Thai food delivered to the house. I'm gonna throw on my headphones. I'm gonna listen to some podcasts I want to listen to, and I'm gonna clean up this house. So when my wife gets back, she's coming into the cleanest house ever. So that's my plan. And in the daytime, at about 2:00, I get a text from my wife. It says, "Want some good news?" I said, "Yes, I do." She said, "See you in 3.5 hours." And I said, well, this is great for us getting to see you at home because you'll be back before the kids go to bed and everyone's going to be excited about that. This is terrible because the place I'm standing right now, fielding this call, is up to my knees in toys and all sorts of stuff. And the plan you have of deep cleaning a house when your kids are asleep and you've got this whole thing planned out, when that is then pushed forward many hours with a time limit on it and your kids awake around it, oh Lord. That was a wild Saturday afternoon. I went from being super fun dad to super boring. Hey, stop playing with toys. Stop breathing. Nobody move. We have to deep clean this house quickly, Dad. Not nearly as fun. And that was a wild little experience. I learned a lesson. Don't let your kids do anything fun in your house because a rushed deep clean, it's not fun. It's not fun. All right, my voice is going. I'll hit you with one last thing before we get out of here. I'm going to save some other stuff for Wednesday, where hopefully I have my voice for the majority of my life. We'll give it to Kelly's What Are You Into? I need to click the button. Shout out to Kelly. Thank you for hopefully still listening.
Kelly's What Are You Into?
So I sat down the other day. This was Sunday. My wife was now home, and she was like, "You need to just take a moment." So I took a moment away from the kids, and I went downstairs. It was still raining out, kind of crappy, and I just was in this mood for playing a video game. I haven't been playing a lot of video games lately. Just been watching a lot of sports, a lot of NHL, a lot of NBA, and so I haven't been playing video games. But I had the itch. I'm like, I want to play a game, and I want to play an RPG. What do I want to play? I want to play an RPG. I want to dive into something. And so I kind of looked through all the games that I had, and it boiled down to two, and I tried one of them to revisit. And that game was Elden Ring. And I don't know if you've played Elden Ring, but that is a beautiful, beautiful game. Beautiful game. Very hard. It's from the Demon Souls line of games, Dark Souls. It is so tough. You're fighting against bad guys who are extremely powerful. If they hit you like 3 times, you're dead, and it's really hard to get in and hit them. And these games, this series of games is so hard to play for someone like me who's not great at video games. But they're beautiful games, and they are very addicting because there is every time you defeat a bad guy, there's this adrenaline rush you get because it was so hard to do. When you beat it, you just feel this sense of accomplishment. So I kind of started that. It didn't sink in because I realized, this is going to take me way too long to get back into this game. Way too long. It's been 4 or 5 years since I played it. I never beat it, but I was like, the learning curve to get back into that Elden Ring mode was going to be too much. So I settled on going back and playing Knights of the Old Republic, an old school Xbox Star Wars game. That's one of my favorite games of all time. And I'd forgotten everything about it, so I revisited it. It's available on Steam. And I played a couple hours of it, and it's a spectacular video game. I love it. But it took me back to the days, and does everyone have this where if I was to tell you, you got 2 days off of life, 2 days to no responsibility with kids, work, spouses, friends, people you're taking care of, whatever it might be. You just get 2 days off, no responsibilities. But It's not 2 days where you get to go take a vacation. Maybe if it was even 3 days. You don't get to take a vacation. You have to stay local. My brain always just goes to, I'd rewind it and do what I did in 2006 when I would get a couple days off work and didn't have responsibilities. I would find a game that I wanted to play. I'd get myself some junk food and probably order a pizza. And I would just sit on the couch, get super comfortable, the most comfortable outfit I could find, and I would dive all the way in to some very story-driven video game. And I would just disappear, put my phone away, and just disappear from the world for a little bit and dive into whatever story some other person who's a great writer has created and come out the other side feeling rested, feeling like it was a fun time to learn, like to get into a game like that. And I loved it. And I was like, I don't know that I'll ever have those days again, but that's what I would do. If someone said, like, you get 2 days off, no responsibilities, but you're not going on a trip, that's probably what I would do. And I would love every antisocial second of that. But shout out to those games. Elden Ring is a great game for those of you who are good gamers who want to pick up a game that's really hard. But if you just want a good Star Wars story in a game that's not that hard, Knights of the Old Republic, it's got to be 2001 that game came out, 2002. Let's see, Knights of the Old. We're doing a little Google search real quick. That game came out in 2003. 2003. It is, man, that game's good. Highly recommended. I mean, the graphics are really bad on it now when you're looking back. But if you're able to just look past that and go, look, this is going to be a game with bad graphics, but the story is good. It's really fun Star Wars content. If you can get through all that, and the fighting system's very different because it's turn-based, so when you run into an enemy, the game stops, and you choose, like, I want to do a power attack with a sword for my first attack. Then I want to pull out my blaster and shoot a blaster shot at him. Then my third attack, I want it to be like an aimed blaster shot, which is more accurate but does less damage. So it's the mechanics are very different, but my gosh, the story is worth every second you put into that game. And I'm excited to get back into it and just kind of chip away at it a second time through this 20-some years later. All right, thank you for tuning in today. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully everyone out there is doing great. Again, sorry this is up late on a Monday. On Wednesday, we're going to explain why that is. Because I spent over 10 hours in one place today that wasn't my house or my office. Where was it? Tune in Wednesday. Thanks for listening.